Intel processor question on diagnostic. Let's first understand the meaning of this sentence. The fastest processor from Intel, Itanium's multi-core architecture, handles data compression on a PC as efficiently as Porsche's perfectly balanced engine handles curves on the road. Okay, so this sentence states a comparison, and that's indicated by the presence of this phrase as efficiently as. Now, what is this comparison about? It's comparing two things. It's saying that the multi-core architecture of Itanium handles data compression on a PC in as efficient a manner as the Porsche's perfectly balanced engine handles curves on the road. So that's what it's comparing. It's basically comparing how two absolutely different things handle the things in their own area, and and both of them handle in the most efficient in similarly efficient manner. So that's what this sentence is talking about. So the comparison is relatively clear. This sentence, although has a modifier error here, because it appears to indicate that the fastest processor from Intel is the architecture, and we can delve into more details when we do the error analysis. But as far as the meaning of the sentence goes, the comparison is relatively straightforward. So now we break our sentence into its individual clauses, and we figure out what are the grammatical errors. So the fastest processor from Intel, Itanium's multi-core architecture, handles, so there we have the first subject-verb pair, handles data compression on a PC as efficiently as Porsche's perfectly balanced engine handles curves on the road. So you notice that there is a subject-verb pair here, Porsche's perfectly balanced engine handles, so which means there is another clause. And so these two clauses are connected by this comparative phrase, as efficiently as. So sentence structure-wise, this sentence is okay. Subject-verb pairs are accounted for. Architecture handles, engine handles. So we have both the subject-verb pairs, they agree in number. Verb tenses look okay. There are no pronouns here. Now coming to the modifier, we have an introductory modifier here, the fastest processor from Intel. Now right now it's modifying the multi-core architecture, and that doesn't make sense, you know. The processor cannot be a multi-core architecture, so contextually we know this is not correct. What it should be is the fastest processor from Intel should be this Itanium. Okay, so fastest processor from Intel should modify Itanium, but because of the construction, the way it is written, Itanium's multi-core architecture, this modifies the multi-core architecture, which is not correct grammatically. So this sentence has a modifier error here. Other than that, everything looks okay. So now we will move on to the answer choice analysis. So choice A has the modifier error here, as we discussed. Choice B, the fastest processor from Intel, Itanium. Okay, so this choice has corrected the modifier error here, because now Itanium is the fastest processor from Intel. Let's continue reading. Intel has a multi-core architecture that handles data compression on a PC as efficiently as perfectly balanced engine of Porsche handles curves on the road. So the way the sentence is written, it states the correct comparison as the original sentence, and it doesn't have any grammatical errors. So this choice appears to be the correct choice. But let's first also eliminate the remaining three choices before we mark this as the correct answer. Choice C, Itanium's multi-core architecture, the fastest processor from Intel. Okay, so this sentence has the same error. Architecture cannot be the fastest processor. So this sentence has the same modifier error. The multi-core architecture of Itanium, the fastest processor from Intel, as okay, so this choice, fastest processor from Intel, modifies Itanium. So this choice does not have the same modifier error. So it appears to be okay so far. So Itanium handles data compression. Okay, architecture handles data compression on a PC, okay, as efficiently as. So the first part of the comparison appears to be okay. Okay, as efficiently as the Porsche, the perfectly balanced engine, handles curves on the road. Okay, so here, look at this part. Porsche, the perfectly balanced engine. This is not correct. Now, from the context of the sentence, we know that Porsche is a name of the car. So you cannot say that car is the perfectly balanced engine. So this sentence also has a modifier error, but that is now in the second part of the comparison. So this sentence is not correct. Now, choice E, the fastest processor from Intel, Itanium, so this is fine, has a multi-core architecture that handles data compression on a PC, so far so good, as efficiently as the handling of curves on the road by the perfectly balanced engine of Porsche. Now, this is where the problem is. This sentence is not grammatically parallel because the comparison is no longer parallel. What we are comparing now is that how the architecture that handles data compression as the handling of curves by the perfectly balanced engine. So we are really comparing active voice but from the first element to passive voice from the second element. So this sentence is not grammatically parallel. So choice B is the correct answer. So notice how, you have to understand the role played by each and every element in the sentence. We had to figure out that, okay, processor cannot be the multi-core architecture. So from context of the sentence, we could figure out that fastest processor from Intel is the Itanium. So even if we don't have the subject knowledge, which is not really required, we could figure out simply from the context that what the modified entity should be. Then we also figured out in choice D that Porsche cannot be the perfectly balanced engine. Okay, so even though it's fine to say that Porsche handles curves on the road, it's not fine to say that Porsche is the perfectly balanced engine. Porsche has a perfectly balanced engine. So again, we have to understand how what the original meaning is and what the logical sense of the sentence is, and that's how we should approach these questions. So that's about it.